Hello, Irene. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Jane. Hello, Geordie, Anne, Gill. So do you get called Geordie or Anne? Hello, Louise. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Fiona. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Catherine from Australia. How are you? I was listening to a thing on the radio this morning, and they were saying that estate agents were reporting that they've had like the busiest time ever, and people are wanting to like move out of city centres, not be near their offices, and get somewhere a bit quieter. I wonder if you're having a busy time. Hello, Mel. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Margaret. You have your magic brushes. Hello, Jenny. Chris, have you got your brushes and paints ready? I'm pleased you like the brushes. They're nice, aren't they? We got. I got a whole load more from Pro Arte yesterday. That arrived. Hello, Maria. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, Michaela. Hello, Julie. Hello, Wendy. G'day, Jenny. My name is Anne. Geordie's my dog. Sorry, Anne. Hello, Anne. Gill. Is that how you pronounce it? Not so nice today. Windy, quite cold, been raining. And of course, haven't I booked a session in the lake swimming tonight? It'll be fine. So I should get new ones soon. Yes. I was just playing around with a new card design. Hello, Marianne Ray. I was thinking that might make quite a nice greetings card. What I do is I just get new paintings, pop them into Photoshop, set the crop at, what's it, 140, 145 the cards?
145, I think.
I'm not sure, 145 might be the envelope, so the card's a little bit smaller anyway. Yeah, hello Evelyn, how are you? Hello Steph. Ah, good, your brushes have arrived. It's Irene, we don't tolerate that sort of language on here. Yeah, so I set the crop at about 140, and then see how it turns out. I just thought that might make quite a nice greeting card. Loved seeing your grandchildren in the river. We had a nice day yesterday. My younger daughter came up with her partner, who she would have been civil partnershiped with in April had it not been for lockdown. Anyway, so they came up yesterday for the first time in like 2 and a bit months. And of course it was the last of the sunny days, so it was just gorgeous. And I made egg mayonnaise. They brought their own sandwiches, like picnic. What is a watch party? A watch party is if you go to Facebook, it gives you an option, I think, at the top. Where are we? I think if you go to your own profile and you go along, you move these along. Oh, I don't know, Google it. Is it when you find your watch? Yes, I found my watch. We've had a watch party and it's turned up. Yeah, so anyway, went down to the river, not my daughter because she's not really a wild swimmer, but Sean and Orla, who turned up in a full witch's outfit, like a cape, purple tights, a tunic, a tie. I didn't know anything about this Worst Witch. Do you know about it?
The Worst Witch?
Yeah.
I read The Worst Witch when I was at school.
Lisa read The Worst Witch when she was at school.
That's only like 20 years ago.
Well, that was only about 20 years ago. Well, it's a little bit later than when I was at school reading Enid Blyton Famous Five. Zuckerberg wants you. Yeah. Hello, Beth. How lovely to see you. And Lucinda Kelly. Ah, Lucinda, how are you? Gillian Pattinson is watching, but we know you're just listening. Anyway, we went to the river and Sean brought, he'd got this like little rubber dinghy thing from a charity shop. And it was really good. And Orla just got straight in it and just sat away paddling. And meanwhile, Rowan's got a rubber ring on that apparently has a slow leak. And they're both way out of the depth, but they were fine. Do we have to dress up for the watch? Yeah, in watches. You have to wear watches. Heather, sorry, stop everything. I have to thank Heather, who sent me some more Pontefract cakes. And they're absolutely delicious. But I haven't eaten them all in one go because we all know what happens when you eat a lot of licorice in one go. And they're in the fridge because I like cold licorice. I've just downloaded the Famous Five on Audible for yourself. Anyway, thank you so much, Heather. That was incredibly kind. You mustn't send me any more gifts. Did you know they've changed the names for Fanny and Dick? My internet is being difficult. I may only get snippets. Jules, the secret is to pay the bills. Me too. Oh. Is everybody else having problems? Hello, Emma. I haven't managed to ask. Sorry, I've got to do one thing. Just like chat amongst yourselves. I'm just going to quickly send a message. Just chat amongst yourselves. Somebody, oh, I don't want to say what it is. There we are, message sent. Sheila, hello. No problems with the internet, thank you. So it's just Jules. Right. So today I'm going to do a little bit, because I'm very close to completion on this one. I'm just going to do a few little bits while we're together, and then I'm going to finish that, well, hopefully, and then I thought I'd show you how nice it is when you add green to my delphinium thing. Maybe it's at your end and the secret is to pay the bills. I said it first, Jules. Sold my horse. You sold a horse? Why? I know someone who's looking for a horse. Just hold everything. I know someone who's looking for a horse to do mounted falconry. So it's one that ideally has had chickens running around. Needs to be able to take the weight of a man who is about 13 stones, I think. And really good nature, but not a plod. So if anybody knows anything suitable, I know someone who has the money. Look at my finger. So sore. The purple flowers with the antler leaves. Knapweed. Knapweed. With a K. K-N-A. Which horse have you sold? You could send her a private message, Jules. Evan's watching. Hello, Evan, how are you? Look at my poor grated finger. I did this thing where I am going to do some painting, I promise. Alright, like slice onions, shred a cabbage, grate carrot, no more, and then I do them really quickly in a massive big frying pan, and then I put ginger and lemon in, and it's really nice. And I was busy grating the carrots, and they were quite old carrots, and I'm going, ooh! I do know such a horse, but my friend, oh, Jules, this guy might pay more. Can we just do gazumping? Will you private message me a little something? Hello, Catherine. Right. There, that's so much better, so much more intellectual. Right, okay. think I need you a little bit closer. And a little bit tippier. Emma Scott, why are you laughing? Superb recreation of finger-grating incident, thank you. No gazumping, I love this friend. But do you love her as much as you love me, Jules? Right. I'm going to do some detail on these nap reeds. I'm going to use a different brush. What colour is that? Blackish. I don't usually do this, like put a piece of paper on top of a painting, but I'm doing it for you. Right. I don't even know if you can see. Yes, you can, yes, I think. I put my hand there and then I can tell. Right, so I'm just doing the little... Probably the anther and filaments, I would say. With the pollen on the top. Uh-huh. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Where is my little stiff brush to put the pollen on? As usual, it's absolutely filthy and it's got lots of whatever I was doing last time. So you can hear Lisa tapping away, tappy tappy. Right, what colour? Yeah. Okay. That's close. Right, so that's like the pollen. Right, so that's those three. Oh, my nest's just fallen off. Do you remember my lovely nests? There's that one. And that one. They're beautiful. I would say made by the same type of bird. Let's put them back there. Oh, and also Beth Munning's Winter. I've got a bone to pick with you. I did not paint my frogs from these dead ones because they are dead. I had a live one. I went back through the comments, but they're pretty funny, aren't they? Let's put them back. Yeah, you can't get away with making comments because I read them. Have you ever tipped jar paints on a fairly well completed painting? Yeah, loads of times. But I haven't done something quite as bad as my framer has done. We've had 2 major incidents there. I hope you don't mind me chatting at the same time. I'll tip you up so I can tell you. I took a very big painting, like a massive one that was about 1 metre wide, that had taken me ages and ages and ages to my framer to get framed for an exhibition, a big exhibition I was having. And sorry, I just need to make sure I've got the right colour. It needs to be bluer. That looks about right. It's just for these little sort of bits on the forget-me-not. Anyway, I got a phone call. Hello, it's Bruce here. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. And I went, Okay, what? Anyway, he left the painting on the top of. There was quite a lot of paintings, all because I tend to save them all up, take them to my framer, and sorry, I need to do. Just need to put 1 or 2 leaves on the forget-me-nots. So I'll save them all up and then go in and have a mass. Here we are. Have a mass sort of session on choosing frames and get them all done in one go, basically. And on this occasion, he put this huge big painting, which was like, it was bigger than this, and it was all like daffodils and trees, and the whole page was just a sort of a blaze of. Oh, I just need a piece of scrap. A blaze of daffodils and stuff, and it had taken me ages. Anyway, there'd been a bit of a leak, and water had dripped onto the painting. It had dripped just close, and it was just covered in drip marks, and there was really nothing to be done. And that was a painting which, like, at the would today's sort of prices be, 3.5, 4 grand. So it was a bit disappointing. I can't remember whether I got anything from the insurance company, but as it happened, I got the painting back and there was a section of it that was really quite nice. And so I just chopped it out and somebody bought it. And I did explain to them, what the situation was. I might just put another little leaf there. And then there was another occasion, same sort of thing, the phone call. And there'd been a fire in the unit below. This is where my framer used to be, on the first floor, and the guy below him, who was a bit of a lunatic generally, I mean, this isn't just my opinion, quite an eccentric chap, who welded things. He made things out of metal. He actually made our beautiful vegetable garden railings. And he's working with a lot of heat a lot of the time. Oh, was there not another place? I think that's probably okay. So that's them. These need the flicky thing doing to them. So anyway, I went in. Oh no, they'd already had the loss adjuster in, and he'd already gone a certain distance down the route of trying to rectify things. Before telling me, so that he could tell me not to worry. Anyway, they'd gone to some professional conservator to have the smuts taken off the paintings. So that was another incident. I'm just going to do a thing here so that I protect the area where I don't want to have any flickies. There. Here's another area where I need to just there we are. Okay. So that's really not far off being complete. She will need an expensive framer. Leaked water drops onto Bruce the framer. Jules! Did I say Bruce? I wasn't going to say his name. She will need an expensive lawyer. Do you ever get called an ambulance chaser, Marianne Ray? I wonder. Sorry, there's an incident in the village and I'm just catching up. She'll need an expensive lawyer. Your framer's accent is just like Robert the Bruce, who probably came from Dunfermline as well. I use that trick while flicking. That's Louise. You crack me up, Beth. My framer comes from Dunfermline. So does my husband's family. George Anderson, hello. Sarah Morley, hello. We all guessed from the incredible accent. Incident. Fiona, you'll have to watch it again. I can't just go repeating incidents. Oh my God. Emma, I know why. I'm not going to say here. Sorry, Emma Scott, who's watching, lives in the village and she mentioned something and I've just found out what it is. Kate Wilkinson, village incident, yeah. I can't say anything. I'm going to tip you up and I can just do this upside down, so then it makes it easier for you. Obviously it's very curly. So for those of you who've just joined me, look at my poorly finger, cheese grater. Cheese grater finger. Oh, sorry. Now then, I'm hoping you can see. So I'm just going to continue finishing the background. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be cooking anything that contains lemon for a while. That did not sting yesterday. Getting too close. And I noticed, because I had a quick look through, not yesterday, the day before's video, and nobody told me my hair was right in front of the lens. I'm sorry about that, folks. Paul, them's not cucumbers. Isn't she funny? That's Paul, naughty Paul's watching now, and he's just relating back to a little conversation we had yesterday where he was asking 5 feet where he should put his cucumbers, and I said I can make a few suggestions where I would like you to put your cucumbers, Paul. Because I think he's growing some and he's a bit of a novice. Cheese and lemon sauce. She won't tell us. Why has she only told us half a story? Do you mean like the village story, the incident? I can't tell you the rest. No, that wouldn't be fair. Oh, I might have some other stories. Oh yeah, for those of you who just joined, what do you think about that for a card? Nice? Not nice? Oh, I have to design my calendar. Everything's behind. Normally, by now, I've got the designs for the next year's calendars and diaries in the bag. but not this year because everything's held up, because I have to have all the new paintings have to have been scanned so that I can use them to crop and like pop into little boxes that I make that say January, February, March, and then there's usually what they call a double spread in the diary, and then covers as well, like front covers. So I create a file and fill it up with pictures and suggested crops. But if I haven't got the scans, I can't do them. And Jane does the scans, and she did come in actually for a few hours. Did you know Jane came in at the weekend, Lisa?
I've seen that she has.
Yeah. And she did some scanning. But they're quite big paintings I've been doing, and they have to go onto the A3 scanner lots and lots of times and then get stitched together. But I've got some now, so I'm going to work on my calendar and diary for 2021 later on today. These things don't just happen by magic, you know. No, sir. And I've had the main guy from my printers back to me today on email, so they're getting a load of quotes back to me, because I'm thinking about doing something a bit different as well. Did I tell you I'm going to have some watercolour pads made? Did I tell you that? At least those of you in the village will eventually find out, whereas those of us in other countries will never find out. It will remain secret. Yeah, so speaking of having new things made, riding on the back of the success of the paints, and then the brushes, I thought, well, watercolour pads, it'll be perfect. Great. So I think I mentioned the other day, I've spoken to the people at the mill where I get my gorgeous paper made, and then they suggested somebody who does, anyway, went, and I spoke to this chap who sounded great, you know. Yes, we discussed every aspect, the paper, the weight of the paper, the binding, the quantities I would like quoting for, etc, 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 and he said, we'll get back to you. It might not be straight away because people are furloughed. I said, that's fine. So then, this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I thought, I haven't heard anything. I don't want to be pushy. So I rang him. So naughty. You can't just find out everything, you lot. He said, so I thought, I didn't want to be pushy. But I rang up and I couldn't even remember the name of the chap I spoke to. So the chap answers the phone and I said, hello, it's Marianne Rogers here. I spoke to somebody a few weeks ago about da-dee-da-dee-da. And he was like, I said, it might have been somebody else. And then I elaborated and he went, it's ringing bells. And I thought, ringing bells? This is another example of what I was talking about a few weeks ago about how difficult it is getting stuff manufactured in the UK. You know, what is the matter with people? So, he says ringing bells. And I thought, well, did you maybe make a note somewhere? He's sort of strange. And I thought, maybe I should just buy the paper direct from the mill and send it to somebody who I know will put it together. Anyway, so I gave him all the details again, and he rang literally at 2 minutes to 12. So Lisa said, she's a bit busy right now, and he said he had some questions to ask me. But I cannot imagine what questions he can have to ask me, because we pretty much discussed every single aspect. I've been having drawing pads and stuff designed for years. I know what the things are, including minimum orders, increments of however much I want quoting for, and the backing board and the type of binding. Anyway, that's just me having a rant. Anyway, when I was on the website of this company that is possibly run by a rather inefficient chap, they had a really good description because they've got quite a lot of information about watercolour paper, stuff I never knew. Well, I knew that they had two sides, and I quite often say to you, oh, this isn't my favourite side, this is a lovely side. And there are names for each side. And one side is sort of flattened by a bit of blanket, and one side goes against a sort of mesh. So one side has a softer, has a surface that is like, what's the word? The mesh one is a clear mesh, like you might see if you look through a piece of fabric, and the other side isn't. So that's interesting, but I really ought to go back to the website and remember the names. Oh, now, interesting. For those of you ladies who are looking absolutely dreadful because your hair's gone grey, and you can't get your hairdresser to come. So I was talking to Lisa about it, who doesn't look dreadful, and but I think she said her mum was a hairdresser. Now then, if you know how sometimes you dye your hair blonde, well, I don't, I've never done it myself, and it can go too far and end up a bit green. Well, is it green, did you say? Anyway, if you put tomato ketchup on your hair, then that sorts it out. Oh, we were talking about colour and the colour wheel. That's another thing, Heather. You said you'd ordered me a colour wheel. That's so kind. The only thing is, I can't regain my naivety once I know about the colour wheel. I might lose something while I gain some information. Because you can't fake naivety. I wouldn't want to, but so that's all the blue stuff on. That's all right, isn't it? So I just need to do the anther and filaments on there and there and there, and then I do a little bit of flicking, and then it's finished. So let's do that. I'm going to see what's being said. Still paper people at Raghead. I did not know anything about this. Paper people at Raghead. What, you mean they... do they make it, Fiona and Mary Ann Ray? Raghead were changing everything around when I was there. At the beginning of March. Oh, maybe they just sell it. Oh, Heather, you're so nice. I have a natural feel for colour, that's what she said. Brush. Am I going to use my new brush? Or this little brush? Tip it up, time check. Thank you, Jules. No, they just sell it. All right. It's funny, isn't it, how there are really very few places in the UK that make paper. Two Rivers, that's nice. I bought direct from the is it Two Rivers, do they call themselves? It's a type of, oops, that was close. I've still got a poppy there that's very, very overblown. Oops, that's not really strong enough. what Lisa's doing. Restocking the china, bone china. Very efficient. I was just telling them about the tomato ketchup, Lisa.
Oh yeah.
What colour did you say it fixes? Anything.
Green.
Green.
Like from spring water if it turns your hair green.
Spring water does.
Yeah, sometimes if you've got bleached hair, it sometimes turns it green.
Wouldn't you think it would be the chlorine in tap or in like mains water that would do it?
No,
Spring water. Maybe it's just where she comes from, in Yorkshire. Where is it you come from again, Lisa?
near Skipton.
Yorkshire.
We're
That-
actually Lancashire, but
Oh right, yes. I know we always have this discussion. Skipton, where the brushes come from.
is that where the brushes come from?
That's where the factory is. The Pro Art. The Skipton. And that's where we were on holiday last year, and I could have gone and had a visit. And when I spoke to the lovely lady in sales, Denise, who knows nothing, she said she can't paint a straight line, but she's really enjoyed doing candle making during lockdown. She said, oh, it would have been lovely. Lovely. Yeah. Sorry?
Just looking at the delivery note to see whereabouts in Skipton they're at.
You don't know where it is?
I don't know whereabouts in Skipton it is.
What's the name of the place?
Park Mill, probably.
Park Mill. Up there. Louise, I'm going to do the thing you do. Same. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm going to have to put 2 pieces on here.
Just off the high street.
Just off the high street. Crumbs. That's exactly where we were. Well, when we were there, just off the high street, obviously. And so I'm just like masking out the area where I don't want the pollen. The anther with the pollen sat on the top, I think. Ta-da! Okay, I'm going to do another little thing, just a tiny bit of blue flicky on these. I can't believe the time. Yeah, the brushes are from Skipton. There are Yorkies watching. Nothing the matter with a Yorkie. It's the metals in the water that does it, especially copper. Emma Caskey says this. This is Emma Caskey. Now then, for those of you who don't know Emma Caskey, if you go to my Facebook page, there was a memory there from 3 years ago, and Emma is the lovely blonde girl sitting on the chair whose mobile phone fell down the portaloo in the middle of a busy horse trials, and people get very nervous at horse trials, and I personally try to avoid the loos there. Anyway, you'll enjoy looking at that. So it's the metals in the water, Emma says. Mine does it, and I used to have purple shampoo every now and again to try and avoid the... What?
That's for the yellow, isn't it?
Who's doing this live video, Lisa?
I was just telling you.
She's great. Very tolerant. No, but I've been on holiday there for 25 times. You've been to Skipton 25 times. Why would you go to Skipton 25 times? We went once and it was nice.
It was all right.
You do know about the parts of the flowers. My hero, Emma Caskey. Okay, so that's that finished. That's enough. Oh, I was going to just... Nope. I'm going to save it. Thank you very much, Sarah Morley. Now, tomorrow, the other daughter's coming. No, to the Dales. Ah, right. Ah, yes, well, that's nice. That's very nice. Yeah, tomorrow the other daughter's coming. I just see my hair. There's like I've got a sort of a bit sprouting out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Move, sit further away, and Emma, you're not going to get away with that. Every year that video will pop up on my Facebook and I'll just have to share it. Yeah, the Dales are lovely. Anyway, it's been, thank you so much, thank you. It's been very nice today getting back to... Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. So anyway, we're in the lake, not the lake, the pond in the river down there with my grandchildren, and Orla is in the little blow-up dinghy having a lovely time, and Rowan, who is 4, is swimming around with a rubber ring on, heading towards what we call the falls. It's just like a little bit of rapids. And I said, "Here, take a hold of me," as he was heading. You did hit Skipton horse trial, you rubbish then. So he's drifting towards the rapids, and I said, "Oh, here, just take a hold of me." And he looked at me and he said, "No." So, why? And he said, "In case I get the virus." And I'd completely forgotten. And, 15 minutes later, Orla is like holding onto the back of my swimming costume while I'm swimming down the river, having gone over the falls and into what we call the swoosh, which is where the river travels quite quickly. Julie, hello, how are you? And no thanks, I don't think I want to swim in the river today. I'm going to Sweetup tonight. Is there a video tomorrow? Probably. But I'll know for definite when other daughter says exactly what time she's coming. Okay, and I will put something up. I thought you were calling MAR a lush poppy. Right. And we've got another rabbit. Another rabbit was caught in the trap while it was trying to eat our vegetables, so fair's fair. There's no point letting it go, it'll just go straight back in. So that is now in the fridge. Shortly it'll go in the slow cooker, and then it will be made into a curry. Another one. Sorry? I nearly sent you a message yesterday to say, do you want a rabbit for a pet? But it was quite a big one. It was too grown up. If it was like a tiny little one, you could possibly hand rear it. You should try swimming Niagara Falls. I've been to Niagara Falls, but I don't fancy swimming there. Although, when I went to Niagara, I stood at the top and I was so compelled. My body was wanting to take me over into the water and over the edge. And I was like that person with Tourette's with the dog and the traffic coming past, where he'd go on and then no, go on and then no, because his Tourette's was making him do it. And I was the same. I was like, my body was willing me over the rails and into the water, and my brain was going, no! So I can understand how people do it. Do you eat snails too? Don't like snails, they're like bogies. Right, anyway, lovely to see you all. Have a great day, and I'll probably be here tomorrow.